Hey everybody, it is late at night and I am Norman. When I was a kid, I loved anything transparent, whether it was artificial jewels or crystals or glass, anything. And clearly, I still haven't grown up because a watch's crystal is more often than not a deciding factor for me when I'm actually thinking about buying a watch. For example, the Smith's PRS-29A. If it didn't have that amazing box crystal, I probably wouldn't own it. Yes, I would still admire it and respect it, but I'm not sure it would be enough for me to actually purchase the watch. Also, the C65 Trident. Even though I knew there were a couple aspects about that watch that I didn't care for, the crystal was so amazing I got it anyway. Tonight, we're going to drool over 5 of my favorite watch crystals in watches that I own. So let us begin. Alright, so we have the camera turned around, and somewhat ironically, I am wearing a watch that does not have a cool crystal on it. I'm not sure what this is made of, but it is just flat. I'm guessing mineral or acrylic. But I was in the mood for this watch tonight, and it looks great. Alright, let's go down the line, beginning with the Timex Marlin. So this crystal is acrylic, and look at how tall that is. That is so cool. Now you'll hear people talk about how different acrylic looks to sapphire box crystals, but I don't see any kind of difference personally. Except that this is really, really tall, which is why it makes this list tonight. Look at that. That is so cool. All the details you can see from the side because it is so tall. So the Timex Marlin comes in at number 5. With its amazing acrylic box crystal. In number 4 is the Smith's PRS-29A. And like I mentioned, this crystal was a deciding factor in buying this watch because it just looks so great. It's quite a bit smaller than the Timex crystal, but this one is sapphire. And the distortions are great. Like I've mentioned before, this kind of reminds me of Swatch crystals and Swatch watches in general. So to me, this is a super fun yet really tough tooly watch. That is so great. Let's get in nice and close here. Even straight on, it looks pretty good. You can still tell that it's a box crystal. Absolutely gorgeous. So the Smith's is number 4. Coming in at number 3 is the Baltic. And I'm sure there are plenty of other watches that have crystals in this shape, but this is the first one I've ever seen in person. It's sort of a half box crystal and half domed crystal. So you'll see that it slowly comes up like a domed crystal, but then it goes flat. So it makes for some really, really cool distortions. And it gives it a very unique look. And you'll notice that on the back, I put the sticker back on. Sadly, this is probably the last time we'll get a look at this crystal because it is up for sale. Not that I really wanted to, but I'm going after the Serica. But that crystal is definitely one of the highlights of this watch, amongst other great attributes. But that, look at that. That is so cool. Number 3. Coming in at number 2 is the Dolce Vita. And at first, it doesn't really look like it's much. And this case is a scratch magnet, so I apologize for that. Hopefully it's not too distracting. But look at this. Boom. This crystal is crazy, and I had no idea when I bought this watch until it arrived and I saw it in person. That is just cool. It just distorts all over the place. So this is the one watch that I did not purchase thinking about its crystal or taking into account its crystal at all. So it was a pleasant surprise. That is nuts. Look at that. It's like one of those infinity mirrors or something. Oh, there's some more even from this angle. Gorgeous. And coming in at number 1, the Maxbill. This crystal has got to be one of the coolest crystals I've ever seen in person. Look at that. It's really tall, kind of like the Marlin, but it's not really boxed. It's sort of almost, now that I'm looking at it, kind of like the Baltic. Even though the end result doesn't really look the same at all. It just looks like a domed crystal. But look at that, it goes all the way to the edge of the case. I mean, to the edge of the watch itself. There is hardly any bezel whatsoever. It is just all crystal. The distortions are just phenomenal. And this is a sapphire crystal. So it was installed aftermarket, like I mentioned in its review. And I tried to get some of the blue that shows up on here. It's kind of like an inky, oily, really dark blue that I've never really seen in other crystals. Like you'll see a hint of blue from the AR coating, but I've never seen anything quite like this. It is dark, dark blue, and it's impossible to capture on camera. But it is so cool to look down and see that kind of oil spill blue. It's really metallic looking and just makes this watch look absolutely unique and cool. Look at some of those distortions some more. Yeah, this crystal is absolutely brilliant. And look, you can kind of see the edge through it at even angles like this. There's like this clear little bit up there. Just, that is definitely number one. Oh, maybe a little bit of the blue showed up there for a second. Hard to tell, but that is absolutely brilliant. So there you have it, 5 gorgeous crystals. And these crystals, with the exception of the Dolce Vita, were all actually deciding factors when I bought the watches. Thanks for watching.